So it's time to plan a youth group. 3 things I want you to remember as we go to plan a youth group is 1, gather together. Gathering's important. The second is we want to map out a run time for our youth group. And then the third is we want to assign roles for that particular gathering. So the first point, probably the most important sometimes, is the gathering part. Gather with your team. In previous videos, we explored about deciding on frequent times and days to gather and that sort of thing. But don't let one person's availability affect the whole team from gathering. So if 70% of you can gather for a particular meeting, then go ahead and gather. Sometimes it's just better to get together on that frequent time and keep up a consistent rhythm. So gather with your team in a comfortable place, in a place that might encourage creative promptings and that sort of thing, and enjoy. Gather. A couple of cool ideas for gathering spaces might be actually in the space that you plan to conduct the youth gatherings or the young adult gatherings or whatever it is that you're planning for. Other things that I like to do that, just promote creativity is I gather in spaces that I like to spend time in. So cafes and that sort of, and the like. So if you feel like I could plan better over a coffee and my double espresso in a cafe, then take your team to a cafe. Right, so you're gathering together. Make sure someone has a notebook and a pen so they can take the notes. And what you want to do together as a team is map out the runtime of your initiative. So you'll need to map out, include in that your setup time and the time that it takes to run the initiative. And if you need, give yourself an allowance at the end of how much backup time you need. So as someone's writing these things down, just brainstorm together as a team. Okay, how do we want to make the best atmosphere and environment for this gathering? So you might decide, okay, we need 30 minutes of just casual bump-in time. Allow people to rock up, even those that are a bit late and all that sort of stuff, so that no one's missing out on anything. Writing in our notes, including things like you could have live music, but music and snacks and the like. And just write that in. So say 30 minutes. So from 6 p.m. to 6:30 is live music, bump-in time, etc. And then from there you might say, okay, we need 3 minutes for someone to introduce the topic. And so you write that in. And so, and then you continue to go in this way. So you might decide, okay, I need someone to talk on the topic. I need a video. I need small group discussions. And we need time for prayer. So these are some basic structures that you can work with. But be creative, have fun with it. And this is why we have a team, so that we can bounce ideas off each other. With our gathering mapped out, it's time to start assigning roles. Building off the strengths of your team, we can begin to slot each of those particular individuals into those roles. So someone might be a super great welcomer. And their thing is they just like to make people feel welcome. So what you're going to do is we're going to get them taking food around or that sort of thing. And we want them to welcome people at the door. Other things to consider are things like, okay, maybe some of us in the leadership team have better giftings in speaking. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this person to do the main input. Now, other things to consider are, other team members may want to get to the point that they can start to do some of the main inputs. So we can begin to put them in minor roles. Maybe we can start to say, okay, do you want to lead the small group discussion? And as you get more confident in speaking in front of the group, we can begin to build up your skills. So that's a really cool part about assigning roles is it actually starts to tease out and draw on the skills of those that we have around us. So with all those things in mind, again, we want to throw out our promotion, and if we have any extra information that people need to know in the lead up to that gathering, we can put that in our socials and in our personal invitations. So if it's bring a $2 donation for pizza, then make sure you throw that in there. So those are the 3 skills that I want us to really focus on when we're planning a youth group. Gather together, map out your runtime, and then assign your roles.